And hello again, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Panther Pride. I'm Mickey Shadricks with Wellborn head coach Jeff Smith. Last Friday night, Wellborn traveling up to the Field of Champions in Piedmont for a 3A Region 5 matchup with the defending state champion Piedmont Bulldogs. And Coach, you think about the name of this show, Panther Pride.
That's right.
That's kind of what you had on Friday night. You went up there and played. Everybody knows how strong a run Piedmont is on right now with the type of team and program they have. You've got a very young, up-and-coming program, and your kids went up there. They were kind of outmanned, outgunned, and fought hard and had a lot of positives you could take out of that
absolutely. They played with a lot of heart and represented our school and community very well, and very, very proud of them, proud of the effort that they gave.
The game started off good for you. Your
Absolutely.
Kids came out ready to play. You got your first possession of the game. You drive down and kick a field goal and actually take a lead in the game.
Well, we're getting better. Again, we're such a young team, and with a team, really dominated by 9th and 10th graders, it seems like the more we play, the better we're getting. And, they're playing very tough competition, but every week we seem to be getting a little better, and it's starting to show.
Offensively, you continue to improve and evolve in some of the new things you're doing this season. And of course, Austin McQueen got hurt early in the year. Your son, Jet, the freshman, is in there playing quarterback. Talk about some of the improvements you saw in that area Friday night.
Well, we're just getting more comfortable with it. We've been kind of dominated by under center, play all these years, and we've went more into more of a shotgun look, and you're just getting better doing it.
And for them, they hit you with some big plays. It really didn't sustain much on you as far as a long time-consuming drive. They had some big plays with their scores.
Well, they got some outstanding football players over there, and they got an outstanding team. And, they matched up with us. Again, they put their older kids against our younger kids right there, and they had the better result. But again, our kids didn't quit. They kept fighting hard, even to the very last play of the game. They were out there playing hard. And then when we went into the locker room after the game right there, you could tell how much they had put into it, but just their demeanor after the game. Not just upset or losing, but a lot of them had really given off in that game, and we're very proud of them.
What a schedule.
Brutal.
We've talked about the non-region games with starting off with North Jackson, and of course, Sachs, Talladega the year they're having, then the teams you have to play in this region. Your kids being very resilient week in and week out.
Well, it's just kind of a grow-up year. We talk about our kids being young, and I knew they were young. But last week, our junior high had to play Oxford in junior high football, and so we were watching our junior high football game with Oxford the year before and showing it to the kids. And when I was looking on there, I said, man, this kid's starting on with us now. This kid's starting with us now. So this time last year, those kids were literally not just playing junior high football, they were playing 7th and 8th grade football, and now they're out there on Friday night playing against, I believe the toughest 3A schedule in the state.
All right, we'll take a break and come back with highlights from Wellborn's trip up to Piedmont last Friday night as we continue right here with Panther Pride. And welcome back to Panther Pride. Panthers taking the field at the Field of Champions, starting the game with the football.
Yes, we started the game off right here, and man, I wish we could have seen that a little bit better, but Walker Hayes made an outstanding catch. He tipped it up, caught it. Again, right here, Jet threw another good pass right over here to Calvin. We had outstanding pass protection with our offensive line. Rolling left here and catches Walker again wide open here, and we really, I think, caught Piedmont by surprise by coming out and being able to hit those passes like we did on them. We stalled out, had to kick a field goal. Kid Harris come out there and kicked a good field goal for us right there, and we're up 3-0 to start the game off. Good first drive, ate up the half of the first quarter. Again, we're playing the run real good right there. That was Harley Kendall, a sophomore, making a good tackle there. Here they fake the speed sweep, and Myers keeps the ball right up the middle right there and breaks a long run right there. And just an outstanding player he is, and they go up 7-3. Kickoff to us. We have some good kickoff returns now. We set our wedge up right there, and you can see we have some good blocking right there. And right here, Jamiron Curry, a senior right there, he's working, trying to get the ball back. We end up turning the ball over, and they hit a good pass right here on us right here. It was a post play right there, and our safety on the front side ran up playing run on it. And of course, he went across the field and beat us on that play, and they went 14-3. We turned the ball over right here. We tried to sweep right here and just fumbled it, and they get on it and have a short field right here. We get good pressure here on the quarterback right here and get a good sack. Again, and this is Keontae Curry. That's 45. He is a freshman again, and made a good sack on the play. Right here, Calvin Spinks, another freshman. He hits the ball and knocks the play loose. Here they ran a little post corner route on us right there and got it caught over right there over Thomas. Right here, fumble the ball again. We get back there, making a good play. That's Contreras Hunt, a freshman that made that good sack. And here, Jermaine Curry, we win a zone replay and get it up there the field here. Jet throws a long pass right here, and it's just Dylan Grubbs that catches it here, and we're down in Piedmont territory. Here we ended up turning the ball over again, and Myers breaks another long run on us there, and he's just got a lot of speed, a lot of skill, and a good senior quarterback. So it's 1:44 left in the half right here. Javion Thomas comes up here and has a good kickoff return here. Gets the ball over here. I think we ended up getting the ball on probably the 30-yard line of Piedmont there, and ended up running out of time right there. But we was close to scoring right before the half, but it ended up going at halftime 28-3.
And their quarterback, you mentioned Cardavian Myers, the kind of player he is, and when you've got that quarterback that can hurt you with his legs, hurt you with his arm, puts a lot of pressure on the defense. I know that's kind of what you're working toward yourself offensively too.
Oh yeah, and Myers and the quarterback from Sags, they're the best two quarterbacks in the county this year to me that we faced. And when you have that dual threat where you can throw and run, it just is very dangerous.
And again, talk about the way the game started off.
Well, we just started off the game really well. The kids were ready to play, and we went out there and had that good first drive. And then, Piedmont hurt us on some big plays. But as far as moving the football on a consistent basis, we did it the first half and had some good defensive stops. But then, when you have a quarterback like they got, okay, when you're all dropped back and pass, then he breaks loose. It's hard to contain him. Well, then you're trying to contain the quarterback, and then he's got a good enough arm and accuracy to hit you with a pass. And you're all worried trying to stop him from running it, and then he busts a pass on you. It's just tough.
All right, as we go to break, we'll listen in to the Wellborn High School marching band from Friday night. And off into the second half highlights now. Piedmont with a 28-3 lead over Wellborn as we begin the third quarter.
Well, we had a good kick right there and stopped them down about the 30-yard line. They run a hitch play here, and there's Logan Brooks, another freshman, that made a good tackle there. Here, that was Jet throwing a good pass over here to Calvin Spinks, and that's one freshman to another freshman. And you see Calvin right here; he's fighting and battling hard here, and have a good run here. Here we get Kid right here on a good solid run right here, and you watch him start pushing the pile right here. The old Kid, he's been hurt the last couple of weeks, but he's getting back with us and more. I tell you what, it'd be nice to get him back full speed. Here they fake their zone play right there, and they hit a backside slant or a backside hitch on us right there. Calvin makes a tackle here, and then they throw one deep here and get behind him a little bit right there, and he knocks the ball out, knocks the guy out there on the 2-yard line. Then they catch us right here, and we're worrying about the outside, and they ran it up inside of us. Here, scores is 35-3 right here, and Jet drops back in his hook zone, intercepts the pass here, and has a good return right here on this, and we get the ball in our territory. Here, watch Calvin Spinks here. He makes a good run here and ran into the referee and still trucking down through there. And again, he's just a freshman. Here we come in right here and we run a quarterback keeper right there and score right there and get some points on the board. So it's 35-10. Right here, we're later in the game. Again, Keontae Curry comes up, makes a good hit right there, and then Contrez Hunt, two more freshmen that make a good tackle there, and we hold them out right there their last drive, and it's 35-10 for a final.
And that is the final score. Very respectable showing for the Wellborn Panthers up at Piedmont on homecoming. And again, dealing with all the young kids. I know as a coach, you've been doing this a long time. Each kid is different.
Yep.
Each team is different.
Yep.
Each week is different.
Absolutely.
Each day is different in the life of a lot of these kids. Talk about, again, the resiliency of these young kids. The disappointing loss last week, I know you weren't happy with how the game turned out, to come back and fight hard like you did this week.
Well, I mean, we hate losing, and I hate losing. But again, with them being as young, and I've talked to our seniors about this because our seniors have been a part of a lot of big wins for us. And we've got 9 seniors, and I've talked to them about it. I said, what's happened is it's kind of like the first year we were back here at Wellborn. We had a few seniors, and we were dominated at that time by 10th graders, where this year we're dominated more by freshmen. And we've got some seniors there that's really working hard for us, and Ked Harris and Jamiron Curry, and I can go on and name every one of Walker Hayes. They're really doing a good job for us, but their surrounding cast are young kids. And those young kids have been playing, junior high football last year, and now they're thrust into varsity competition, and they just got to get more experience and keep seeing all the stuff that these older kids have seen, and then and mesh it together. And it just takes time to do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's run down the individual player awards, Coach, from the Piedmont game.
All right, our scrambler was Monte Tice. Again, he's a 10th grader who got our offensive line award. The racehorse was a tie here between, it should have been Walker Hayes and Calvin Spinks. They tied, Jet and Calvin tied for the racehorse award. The headhunter award was Jet with 15 tackles. Big Hog was a tie between Jet Smith and Jamiron Curry. And a pancake block was Jamiron Curry had a good block. Our hardest hit was Calvin Spinks on a Piedmont receiver we saw. Meanest Panther was Walker Hayes. The 12th man was Ked Harris, and this is a tie. Was the offensive player of the week was Walker Hayes, who had some outstanding catches at wide receiver, and Calvin Spinks had a few good runs at running back, and the defensive player of the week was Jet.
All right, still to come, we have our player spotlight for the week, and we'll talk about the region matchup this week with Glencoe as we continue on Panther Pride. Stay with us. And back on Panther Pride, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Wise Environmental Solutions of Oxford, a leader in the field of enhanced waste collection and resource recovery services. Wise offers a variety of services for residential, business, and government customers, including portable restroom and restroom trailers for special events or construction sites. Wise offers dumpster rental services when you need some extra capacity for that home remodeling project. Wise also offers tent rentals for weddings, corporate events, or parties. All rentals include professional delivery and setup and takedown. All rentals are clean and well maintained and available at reasonable prices. Proudly serving Calhoun, Etowah, Jefferson, St. Clair, and Talladega counties. Time now for our senior spotlight, and this week Gerhard Mathangani tells us more about one of the key senior players on this year's Wellborn team, one of the few seniors, and that is receiver Tona Davis.
Football is a game of growth. That goes for a team, a unit, and individual players. Perhaps the guy who exemplifies personal growth the best is wide receiver Tona Davis.
When I came here, I was super small. I came, did the weight training and everything, got a lot bigger. I learned about confidence and persevering. That's just, I improved all around.
He's a part of this team that we'll never be able to replace. Tona, we've seen him grow from basically the guy on the sideline trying to keep the crowd pumped up into the game to going out there and being one of our starting wide receivers.
Davis says playing football in this community means a lot to him.
Wellborn is football. That's all Wellborn is football. It's a football team, football school, community, everything here is football.
When he's not on the gridiron, Davis likes to use his mind in other ways. His favorite hobby is solving the Rubik's Cube.
What put me on was I saw this interview with Will Smith and his son Jay, and Jay just had the cue with him, and then that's what I was like, I want to do it now. So that's what got me into it.
Tona's fastest personal time is 26 seconds, and he's even solved one behind his back. He says it's a great way to stay mentally sharp.
You gotta do it first side, and then you do it layer by layer, and then you solve the top side. Muscle memory, that's what it is. Being able to do that and just being able to practice something, remembering patterns and stuff.
For this week's player profile on the Panther Pride, I'm Gerhard Mathangani.
Interesting player spotlight there with Tona Davis. Something tells me he brings a little personality to your locker room.
Man, he does. And, I wish we had a Rubik's Cube in the locker room that day, because it is amazing to see him do that. He can solve a Rubik's Cube with it behind his back in less than a minute. That's amazing. It's somebody can do that right there, but that's a gift that he's got right there. And I wish we had one in the locker room so that Gerhard could have filmed that and everybody could have seen that, because people would be amazed if they could see what he can do with one.
Well, this kid probably has a pretty bright future ahead of him.
He's very smart, and he runs track for us too right there. And we've been to a lot of track meets together and everything, and going to miss Tona a lot. He's brought a lot to our team all these years.
All right, Tona Davis, our player spotlight for this week. Welborn stays in region play this week as they travel to Glencoe to take on the Yellow Jackets in a big region game. We'll talk about that with Coach Smith when we come back on Panther Pride. And we're back on Panther Pride. There's the matchup this Friday night as Welborn traveling to Glencoe to take on the Yellow Jackets. Coach, this another big region matchup for your team, another opportunity to play well on Friday night. And they're going to feel the same way, because both of you need a win. It would be good for both teams, I know, to pick up a win this week. So talk about the challenge of, first of all, just going to Glencoe, playing there, and the type of team they've got this year.
Well, anytime you go to Glencoe, it's tough. I mean, their kids are going to rise up and they're going to play hard. They got a lot of pride. I was looking at those records right there, and 2 years ago, the records will be reversed for us going over there playing. But they're having a down year. They're different from us. It's where we've got a lot of young players. They've got an older team that's been really injury ridden this year. I mean, they've had a lot of kids that's gotten hurt and everything else. But they are, again, they're an older team that's just had a lot of key injuries happen to them.
And injury-wise, I know you're hoping to get Ked back at full speed, because that's really been an important part of your offense, to have that powerful runner running at full speed. What's his status going into this week?
He's just our senior running back that's been with us for so long, and against Talladega he really rolled his ankle hard. That last touchdown he scored against Talladega, I remember we barely could get him out of the end zone afterwards because his ankle was hurting him so bad. But the last 2 weeks, if you ask Ked, hey, I'm great, okay? But and I guess against when we played Ohatchee, it's probably 45% maybe, and then this game he was probably 70%. So if we can get him up there at 90% for this Glencoe game, he'll really make a difference with us.
And lastly, Coach, I know it's fall break for Welborn this week, so talk about how that will change your schedule with the team.
Well, we're going to bring them in at 8 o'clock in the morning and do our stuff with them and practice after that. And, we'll do that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then Thursday we'll get back on the afternoon schedule like we do during the season, and I'll practice them in the afternoon on Thursday, and then have them come in on Friday afternoon and get them ready to go to the game. I think it's a good thing for us right now. I think it's a little change up. It's a chance for them to have the afternoons off and refresh them a little bit, and especially at this point in the year right there, I think they need it.
All right. Appreciate it, Coach, and best of luck on Friday night at Glencoe.
Appreciate you a lot. Thank you.
All right. We'll be back again next week with all the highlights of Welborn and Glencoe here on Panther Pride. Hope to see you then.